أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت يا رب العباد وانتشت روحي وصار الدمع يجري يا إلهي خذ بقلبي للرشاد أشرقت نفسي بنور من فؤادي حينما رددت
บิสมิลลาฮิรเราะห์มานิรเราะฮีมอัสสลามุอะลัยกุมวะเราะห์มะตุลลอฮ์วะบะเราะกาตุฮ์สวัสดีครับท่านผู้ชมที่เคารพครับขอต้อนรับท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านเข้าสู่รายการฉุกคิดทอล์กนะครับวันนี้พบกันวันพฤหัสที่9พฤศจิกายน2566วันนี้ฉุกคิดทอล์กเป็นภาคภาษาอังกฤษนะครับซึ่งในปกติเราจะมีรายการภาคภาษาอังกฤษอย่างน้อยเดือนละ1ครั้งแต่ว่านี่ก็ทิ้งช่วงห่างมาด้วยกับมีเหตุการณ์หรือว่ามีเรื่องราวสำคัญที่เกิดขึ้นในโลกมุสลิมนะครับวันนี้ขออนุญาตท่านผู้ชมนะครับเข้ามาจัดรายการพูดคุยกันในช่วงฉุกคิดทอล์กประจำคืนนี้ในหัวข้อเกี่ยวกับเรื่องของสังคมวิทยาและศาสนาในประเทศไทยซึ่งเราได้รับเกียรติจากรองผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์นะครับผู้ช่วยศาสตราจารย์ดร.มันซูร มาลิกนะครับท่านเป็นหัวหน้าภาควิชาปรัชญาและศาสนามหาวิทยาลัย ABAC นะครับซึ่งเราจะจัดโปรแกรมกันเป็นภาษาอังกฤษเลยนะครับ so excuse me everyone let me turn into English version and today this course program will be discussed with Dr. Manzoor Malik. He is now a program director of graduate program in philosophy and religion at Assumption University, and the topic will be discussed on the sociology and religion in Thailand. So let us welcome Dr. Manzoor Malik and my co-MC คุณนัดนานซาลีขอท่านผู้ชมพบกับวิทยากรนะครับที่จะมาร่วมพูดคุยกับเราวันนี้เลยครับอัสสลามุอะลัยกุมวะเราะห์มะตุลลอฮ์วะบะเราะกาตุฮ์
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
First of all, I would like to thank you, Assistant Professor Dr. Manzoor Malik, for your kind joining our program today. And we have been waiting for your precious time to join us a long time ago. And Alhamdulillah, by the grace of Allah, today you have, Alhamdulillah, joined us. And we expect that we and the audience at home will benefit from the discourse program today from you and your experience as well as your knowledge, inshallah. We have Brother Adnan as a co-MC today. So in the beginning, before Brother Adnan will have some more questions about the topic that we're going to discuss today, I would like to start the first question to you. Is it definitely regarding the sociology and religion in Thailand? What or how can you explain the sociology and religion in Thailand as far as this term is concerned? Please, Dr. Manzoor Malik.
Well, thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be with you this evening. And sociology of religion. Brother Feroz, I hear some sound coming. Why is this sound coming?
I think someone maybe from you. You have you turn on your speaker? If not, maybe you can just This is the reflect of the sound from someone. Okay, I think the sound is already gone. So you may continue now, please.
Okay, thank you very much. Sociology of religion, when we talk about it in academia, in the academic study of religion, sociology is about first to understand sociology. Sociology is about patterns. We have a pattern, like in society in which we live, things are connected, institutions are connected. That relationship is what we discuss in sociology. So, what is the relationship between, let's say, politics and religion, politics and economy, education and culture? These are relationships. And how these things affect each other. What is the nature of relationship? That's what's called sociology. And sociology of religion, when we discuss, we look at society and religion. What is the connection? What is the pattern? What is the relationship between religion and society? Society is made of social institutions, let's say political institutions, educational institutions, economical institutions, cultural institutions. And then on the other hand, we have religion. So what is the relationship? What is the connection between these two? How religion affects social institutions, and how, in turn, social institutions affect religion. What is the influence of religion on social institutions, on economy, on banking, on finance, on medical practices, and on our marriage customs, our culture, and on the other hand, how this society, which is also a dynamic world because society changes all the time, and how this society also affects religion, influences religion. That is what we know as sociology of religion.
I see.
So in Thailand, as you mentioned in the end about Thailand, so no place in the world is without it. Thailand is a dominantly a Buddhist country, and where other minorities also live. Muslim Islam is there, and by the grace of God, all religions here in this country come under the direct protection and patronage of His Majesty the King, and all respected. So, of course, there is a dynamic in this country between religion and society, between Buddhism and society, between Islam and society, and that is in Thailand as well, because it is an Eastern country, an Asian country. Our cultural values, which come from religion, actually are very strong. Therefore, sociology of religion is very much alive in Thailand as well.
So, Dr. Manzoor, I seem like sociology and religion, especially in Thailand, it is not able to separate it. I mean, apart. It has to be all the time together. And you explain the meaning of sociology and religion in Thailand, and you have already touched also with the politics, with the finance, with the economic, with everything. It seems like the sociology and religion, especially in Thailand, it is a kind of integrated with everything, with every aspect that people who are living in the country as well as in the society cannot separate himself from the so-called sociology or the religions. Kun Adnan, do you have any question before we go deep into the detail about maybe the importance of the so-called sociology and religion, or maybe the issues, because there are a lot of issues that we want to discuss today as well. So I just want to pass it to you if you have any other question before we go deep into some other detail, please. Brother Adnan. You may unmute the microphone, please.
Okay. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
I would like to know how Professor Manzoor, in your view, how does Islam influence the social structure and value in Thai society?
Thank you very much. In Thai society, as I have seen myself, but in sociology of religion or in religious studies, we have a term called insiders and outsiders. So, what is the insider perspective? What is the outsider perspective? Since you are Thai people, you know much better than me how is the dynamics of Islam in Thailand. But as an outsider to Thailand, to the culture, to the country, and to all those areas in Thai society, I have a view about how there is this influence of Islam in Thai society. Let's talk about some big things first. As I said, the sociology of religion, it is the connection, it's the relationship between religion and the social institutions. We see, let's say, first example would be Islamic banking and finance. Islamic banking and finance, it is a big topic in sociology of religion. That what is the connection between banking, what is the connection between economy and religion? On this, there were two great people who had big thoughts and philosophies. Let's say Karl Marx. Karl Marx said that religion is nothing. It comes from society, from economy. So it comes from how we supply and how we produce. On the other hand was Max Weber. Max Weber showed the influence of religion, how it developed mostly capitalism in the West. Then we talk about Islamic banking. We see it more clearly, the relationship between Islam and banking system. Banking system is a social institution. It's created by society. So we see the direct relationship between religion, how it affects banking, its products, its financial products. And that is one example, big example of the relationship in Thailand. There is also, let's say, food industry in Thailand, what we call as halal food industry. Food industry is also a social institution. These are companies, corporations, and suppliers, but how the religion affects it. It's in the West also like kosher, like Jewish food. In the Western countries, they sell Jewish food. But in Islamic countries or countries where Muslims are minorities, they have, especially in Thailand, this privilege, and it's very much supported by Thai government and Thai institutions that there should be halal food industry, and it's supported by government that more and more could be exported to Muslim countries in the Middle East, and that's a good thing for Thai Muslims. And this is also a relationship between religion and society. On the other hand, we have educational institutions in Thailand. Educational institutions in Thailand, there is a direct relationship between religion and educational institutions, Muslim minority educational institutions, or Christian educational institutions, or Catholic educational institutions, where people have freedom who come from different religions, or Buddhist educational institutions, that all these institutions are one way or other way supported by government and encouraged by government, that they should bring the religious values in their educational system. So they are given freedom. This freedom is not available to educational institutions in many secular countries. Let's speak about France. In France, there are many problems, or some very tight and hardcore secular countries where religion is not tolerated at schools or even at universities. But we see in Thailand, speaking about Thailand, there is a direct relationship between religion and society. But there is one thing, that the influence of religion on social structures, it can be less, it can be more. In the same way, the social institutions, the way they affect or influence or have impact on religion or religious practices or religious people or religious behavior can vary also. It can be less, it can be more. In different times, it can fluctuate. So that is the dynamics which we are caught.
So
I hope
I think this already explained more about the relationship between the sociology and the religion in Thailand, and you have explained and pretty much clear that the relationship between the sociology and religion in Thailand is not only in Islamic aspect or in Islamic religions, but also in Christianity as well as in Buddhism. And we found that the example that you have mentioned about the Islamic bank or the financiers, which is related to religions. So I believe that the explanation or the example you have mentioned is also we have to look back. We have to go back to the principle of that religions as well, because in some particular religions, for the example, like we are talking about the Buddhism, we are living in as a minority. A Muslim is a minority in Thailand, because the majority people living in this country, they are Buddhism. But so far as Buddhism is concerned, we haven't heard about Buddhism bank, because maybe if we go back to the principle of the teaching of Buddhism, we may not have, or there might be no any doctrine which is saying about banking system in Buddhism. But in Islam, we found that there's a lot of banking or Islamic bank in many countries, as well as the most especially in the Middle East. So I believe that we have to understand the doctrine of each and every religion before we can explain, or we can come up with some a good model of that particular institution, or maybe something like school or university. We see a lot of Buddhist. There are a Buddhist university. There are Christian university in Thailand, and definitely, as per Dr. You mentioned about that, there are also very good support from the government side as well as this, especially this Buddhist university. So far as this topic is concerned, doctors, do you see any issue about sociology and religion in Thailand? Because I noticed that there's a lot, very often that there are a kind of a competition, but it's not a competition in terms of business, but it is a kind of extreme competition which can transform from the competition itself into the fighting. And it is like a hate speech or the spreading of the hate between the adherent of both religion, especially the Islam and the Buddhism. Do you see that this is a phenomenon, or you do see it as a issues? And if it is issues, what could be the solution in this particular issues as far as this is concerned? And in your view, how we can fix this problem in the Thai society?
Thank you. Well, we should see one thing. Here we have to understand the social institutions more. Thai people and Thailand, comparatively to other nations in the world, it is a country which is peaceful. Thai people, they like to have peaceful ways to solve the problems. They are patient. They don't go for fighting. It is the nature of Thai people. Well, you talk about Thai Muslims, they are peaceful. You talk about Thai Buddhists, they are peaceful. You talk about Thai Christians, they are peaceful. So it is the culture, the way it has developed. So it depends. So this culture, these people, social institutions are what in sociology we call social construction. Means these institutions are constructions which come from society. So these are social construction. That's the term we use. Then there is a relationship between religion and the social construction, which is education, which is politics, which is law and order, which is our neighborhood, which is our society, which is our marketplace, which is our politics. Since the social construction is basically peaceful, people are peace-loving, people want solution to problems without going to fight or kill each other over things, what we can see in many countries. There are countries where Buddhists are not peaceful. There are countries where Muslims are not peaceful. There are countries where Christians are not peaceful. But when you talk about Thailand, you see everybody is peaceful. People want to have a peaceful way out to do things. You can know many countries where people from different religions, they live in, but the peace is missing. Not only one religion, every religion. But in Thailand, it is Thai nature, it is Thai culture, it is Thai people, that they have this kind of a very graceful nature, which is admirable. And we should admire this kind of mentality and the way they move forward things and the way they are very patient about situations. We see in Thai culture, in Thai society, sometimes issues happen, but Thai people are very patient and they can wait until things are settled. This is very special about Thailand, admirable, because the world is becoming very impatient. People fight, they are very impatient, but Thai people are very patient people. So these social institutions, social constructions are built by people, by society. Society is made of people, and people make institutions. So there is this relationship between these social institutions and religion. So this influence, this connection, this relationship is peaceful. It's maturing. It understands itself, but it's at the same time developing. So I do not see any big issue in Thai society that one should condemn or one should dislike. I think everything is great here and things can improve better. And the relationship between Thai majority Buddhists and Muslims and Christians and Hindus and Sikhs, it can be through interfaith dialogue, sitting with each other, talking to each other, because we misunderstand each other when we don't try to know each other. When we do not sit together and have a cup of coffee together,
What about
have
tea?
some snacks together, have some tea together, or have some food together, then we look strangers to each other. We have to integrate, we have to mix, we have to sit with each other, and then that will take that strangeness away from us. I pray God in Thai society, the way I see Buddhists, Christians, and Muslims, the way they live with each other, it's already very healthy. There is nothing strange. But at the same time, we have to be very careful in Thailand that what is happening in the world outside, in many, many countries, the hatred, the Islamophobia, the hate of Islam, those things should not come in by some bad hands, bad agents who like to spread hate everywhere. So Thai people have to be very careful. Thai education system, Thai politicians, Thai society, Thai institutions, Thai people have to be careful that those bad ideas should not find their way into Thai society, and that can spoil this beautiful country with beautiful culture and society.
Doctor, you have praised a lot of about Thailand, and you mentioned that Thailand is a peaceful country, and I believe that what you mentioned is true as well. But so according to the statement you say, I believe that whatever which is against or different from what you mentioned is only a small part of what already happened in Thailand. And I don't think that the majority of the people is also supporting that kind of thing, especially maybe like spreading the hate between each other and make people fight to each other. And this not actually what, the majority people in Thailand, they like it and they support it. And I believe that everyone is looking for peace. When we talk about peace, it's we will not be able to not talk about the southern part of Thailand, because it's also the part or the area which is understood as the unrest area, whatever. But alhamdulillah, we saw that a lot of things has been solved, and alhamdulillah, peace is happen in the area as well. So before we go to discuss about the other detail of the other topic, Brother Adnan, do you have any other question to share, to discuss with Dr. Manzoor here?
It's good idea for listen here on the source have the second talk and have this talk together. This is key education. I would like to know how do educational advancements and the rise of the middle class that impact society, social attitudes and value in Thailand, especially in the relation to the religious belief. How do the educational advance?
Thank you very much. I hope I heard you clearly and your question, because the sound was coming. You were saying the middle class.
Okay, right.
Yeah,
Okay. I asked how do the educational advancement and the rise of the middle class impact society attitudes and value in Thailand, especially in relation to the religious beliefs.
Well, in Thailand, as I said in the beginning, that the relationship between society and religion is kind of which is in dynamics. Sometimes society can influence religion a lot because society changes, and religion sometimes can be more powerful. It can change the social way. Middle class has a big role in a country because middle class people, poor people, they are very much concerned with very basic needs. So they are there. Their influence is less because they are with very physiological needs, necessities. When it comes to middle class, so middle class is moving, it's everywhere, and it has more influence. But even the middle class people in Thailand, because Thailand is caught in what we call the economy is caught in the trap. So people are still busy with economical hardship and financial hardship. So that is also a concern. But since we have more people coming from middle class and they are more active, Long time ago, sociologists of religion and sociologists in particular, they thought that religion will go away in future. There will be no connection. This is called a secularization theory. According to secularization theory, in 1960s and 1970s, many people believed that in coming time, religion will disappear. But what we see now, they have changed their mind. They say now it is not like that. The religion is back. Religion is back. Religion, there is a revival of religion. In every part of the world, let's say India, there is BJP, which is a Hindu party that's in power. Before, there were secular parties. Now this is Hindu power. And we see in Islamic countries, Muslims demanding political Islam, like they want Sharia law implemented. So religion comes back. In South America, Christians, they want religion in the society. In America itself, religion is very, very powerful in American society and even in politics. So in Thailand, even in Buddhist country, where Buddhists, let's say in Myanmar, in Sri Lanka, these countries, where Buddhism was very far from politics and they did not discuss. But we see that they are coming close, let's say in neighboring countries. They want Buddhism to be more dominant in the state, in state policies. So since our governments are made by middle class and they are very influential, and that reflects in the government, that reflects in our policies, that reflects in our media, that reflects in our social structures and institutions we build. So in Thailand, this connection between society, the middle class society and religion, it has not gone away. It did not become victim of the secularization theory. Religion is very much there in Thai people. Let's say when we see in secularization theory, people used to talk about church attendance. People used to talk about charity. People used to talk about rituals. People used to talk about religious customs, that it is declining, it is going down, it is disappearing. But now we see increase in these things. Thai people, let's say middle class Thai people, settle, they go to temples, they go to, and they give good donation to religious institutions. So in their own way, they practice because religions also go through a lot of change. The way religion is expressed, it is not expressed in one way all the time. Before, in old time, rituals were very long, but then rituals become very short. It is because
they have modified it.
the
They have modified it, made it as per the context of the society.
So we have to get along with the society. So the interpretation of religion should also accept social changes and how to understand ourselves as religious people. It has to take society under consideration and have a more mature, more understanding of society, a more mature understanding of religion itself, how it can become meaningful for religious people. It should not become outdated. So Thai middle class, I think, they are they are very close to religion. They have their own way. Let's say about Thai middle class Muslims, if we talk about Thai middle class Muslims, they are very close to Islam than they were 20 years ago or 30 years ago. This is Thai Muslim middle class. Like the way they use hijab, there were no hijab, Muslim women wearing hijab long time ago. Not many were doing it. But we see Thai Muslim middle class, they come into, they have influence of religion on them. And also their dress code. Not only that, the way they eat, the way they have open restaurants, developed small SMEs and businesses. This is middle class that is doing. The influence is there. Thai Buddhists also, as much as they can, they also do the same thing. They are religious in their own way, with changing times. They try to practice, they go to temple, they even give a lot of charity to temples. You can look at Dhammakaya temple, the money that goes there, a lot of the money donation which goes from middle class people, working class people, which go to temples and other temples, Thai Buddhist temples, to do more charity work or be socially active or help other people. So this money, this financial support comes from the middle class. Middle class is very much connected to religion in Thai society.
Yeah, I think this really very important, and I believe that the audience also have gained a lot of knowledge and experience from your sharing. And I see there is one thing that maybe both adherents of every religion is facing is a kind of a challenge. And this challenge, I believe that it is maybe included in the socio-economic disparity. I think that you will have the same understanding or maybe you will have this, you see this or notice this as I did or as I do, because the socio-economic disparity among different religions group. Let's say, for the example, like how can we ensure that there is an equal of the assessment into the education, especially if we're talking about, you're talking that, well, we have the institute, we have the social institution, we have university belong to each and every religions, but accessing of student into university, or on the other hand, we can say that, okay, it's based on potential, based on the capability of the student. But we see that we are living in the society, so there are classes, even though it's not very much obvious like in some country, but definitely there is like a classes, and these classes is maybe differentiate, or maybe it's separated itself by its own nature, its own, there is its own dynamic. So how can do you see the same problem as I see, and what is the better solution for this disparity or inequality in the society that we that the adherent of the religions is facing at this stage of time?
Well, we have to understand one thing. You touched the economy and you touched the society and how it divides people and helps some people to get access to some privileges, and also does not help many who should have access to those privileges. So economic systems in the world, and they are very much at the roots of our social structures, are actually two types. One is what we call as capitalism, and the second one we call as communism. But in our time, we do not have many countries that are purely capitalistic. We don't have many countries that are purely communist. The most countries in the world have mixed economy. So they are capitalistic, socialistic, or socialistic, capitalistic. Somewhere, socialism is more powerful and capitalism is less powerful, but they cannot live without each other. So every country, almost every country, is between these two. Socialistic, capitalistic, more socialism, less capitalism. Capitalistic, socialistic, more capitalism, less socialist. So Thailand, if you talk about Thailand, it is capitalistic socialistic. If you talk about capitalism, you can talk about the United States, but it has a social welfare. Social welfare is there. If you talk about pure capitalism, you can talk about Japan, but it has its own way of kind of capitalism, which is very different. So Thailand is a capitalistic socialist country. In capitalistic socialist country like Thailand, where capitalism is more powerful, but socialism is also there. You get medical care, 30 baht medical care. So that is enough for people who have small diseases, or it gives some help. But when people have more problems, what happens? They have to go to expensive medical care. And that is only done by capitalistic institutions, and they need to have their money for that. You talk about education. The basic education in Thailand is free for people to go and study because it is the socialistic factor in Thai society. The world is like that. Like the government cannot pay for everybody or for everything. And people also cannot afford. This is the reality of socio-economic reality in which we live. And in Thailand, I think in Thailand, people need to think more about how to help society, how to help poor people, how to help people who do not have privileges. In Thai society, there are many people who are poor. And according to research, many Thai people in Thailand, they make money, but they live hand to mouth. They cannot save money. Just what they make, they spend, and they do not have savings. So, and then there's another problem in Thai society is the consumer culture, because people like to consume more. If you go to Thai department stores, you see people carrying bags. People like to spend more money. So that is also, we need to get our habits, buying habits, consuming habits under control. And that could be done by educational system. It could be done by religious preachers. It can be done by social activists. That we need to realize that we should not spend more than we have. On the other hand, the politics, the government has to come for affirmative action. Affirmative action is in politics, that is to help those who do not have privilege, to help those who do not have enough. So there is a need and there is a space for more social welfare in Thai society, and it should be done that way. Now, in terms of Muslims, I would like to point out that when we come to Muslims, you can get some benefits from government, of course. You can get those benefits. You have your earning, of course, but Thai Muslims need to centralize zakat system in Thailand. The zakat system in Thailand, we talk about Islamic banking, we should also talk about zakat. To collect this money, which is 2.5% from the people who afford to pay, who have enough, and they have to pay that much money. According to Islam, it is a charity. It is not only in Islam, but it is in every religion. They pay some amount for these good purposes. And in some religions, they pay more than that. So, but in Thailand, we can see Thai people are very generous. And when I look at endowments, like the Buddhist churches, Buddhist temples, how much land they get, how many temples they get, how much support they get, means Thai people like to give. Thai people like to give. If you look at Catholics in Thailand or Christian institutions, there are many people who have given so much land, so much property to institutions in Thailand, Christian institutions. They are giving. And if you look at Muslims, they have done the same. Many Muslims have given so much for Muslim society, to Muslim society. But in Islam, that's big, especially, we have a zakat system. And this zakat system, it has 8 ways to spend. And there are a few ways which cover to help poor people, to help needy people, to help prisoners who do not have enough support to get them out of prison, to help give them legal aid. In the same way, to help poor people or people who are hungry or they don't have their basic needs fulfilled. So Muslims need to think in this area how we can develop the zakat system, and that money can go to society and can help those people who are needy. And the government needs to think about more social welfare, how the government can help poor people in this country.
Yeah, Doctor, I think pretty much clear about your explanation in terms of the socio-economy and the disparity amongst the people in Thailand. And I believe that this has become very, like a hot issue, or maybe it is a very important agenda for the Thai government to talk about the disparity and how, the government can solve this problem. And there is a question from audience, Brother Muhammad Fahim. He is asking that, do you think there is a challenge to a multicultural cultural society in religion or other aspect of cultures like language and custom, education, attainment difference, something like this? So I believe that you have already explained, and it is already pretty much confined on these aspects as well. And I have a question again, and I'm not so sure whether it is appropriate for me to ask this question or not. But as far as the religious or Islam is concerned, I noticed that Muslim or many Muslim in some area, they understood that Islam as a religion is separated from the society, not by theory, not by understanding, but not by the conception, but it's by practical. They maybe understood that, okay, we should live with people, different belief, different religions peacefully. We could have the harmony with amongst different people in the same society, and we noticed that this happened long times ago, like 50 years back, and we live like peacefully. There is some of them, even me myself has a friend, have my friend is monk, and a lot of friends, we used to be a student in the same university. He's dressing as a monk who would come to study in the same university, and I am a layman sitting down close to him, and this happened everywhere in Thailand. But I noticed that some Muslim, they think that Islam is specific a relationship between God and human being, and it is understood that it is only confined in some specific area. When we are talking about sociology or the society, it is something different explanation. Can you explain this as far as your experience? You have more experience. You are living in Thailand for many years, and definitely you are a professor. You are a lecturer in university as well, even though it is a Catholic university. But I believe the student is not. They have no discrimination that, okay, we accept only Catholic student. They accept everyone, and they used to be also the vice chancellor of the university is a Muslim as well. So can you explain this, Doctor?
I'm also a Muslim, and I work for Catholic University, and I'm treated very well there. And there is nothing, no discrimination. Everybody is accepted. And Catholic Assumption University is a good example for multicultural environment where people from different faiths come and study, and there is also a place for Muslims to pray their salah. When they want to pray, there is a place for them. So everything is taken care very well. But what you said is, you see, when we look in the history of religions, there are many religions in the world, and so many religions in the world. When we talk about this pure religion, that means world religions. Let's say we talk about Hinduism, Buddhism, Islam, Judaism, Christianity. These are called world religions. But there are so many religions. But when we look at the nature of religions, there are two things. Some religions are ritualistic. They only do rituals. Like they can pray, they can go to some tree, like let's say animism. Being animistic.
Okay.
Yeah, go to tree, pray to tree, and do some rituals, or do some recitation, do some chanting, and that's it. That is religion for them, and it has got nothing to do with life. What you do, how you marry, what you eat, what you practice. So this is just rituals. But Islam, when we talk about Islam in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say it is deen in the Islam. Deen means way of life. So Islam is rituals. It is about three things. Islam is about belief, that we believe. That's called aqidah. It is about rituals. That's called ibadah. And it is about practice. That's called amal. Wal amalu bil jawareh. In Islam, aqidah would say like that. Means practicing. Islam is about these three things. So Muslims need to understand that Islam is not just a ritualistic religion. Islam is more. It's a way of life, how you live your life. When we talk about, connected with that is, when we do sociology of religion, we do many things. We do anthropology of religion. We do sociology of religion. We do phenomenology of religion. We do many, many things. But when we do sociology of religion becomes very, very important, because